After what was expected to be a bit of a war of attrition at Martinsville. I can hear myself. There we go. Now I can no longer hear myself, that I can concentrate on the intro. We are here now at Phoenix Raceway for the No Emission 300. This race being sponsored by No Emission Motorsports. We didn't take the engines out and put in an electric motor, and unfortunately Tony is ill and Frank is working. But I am joined here today by James Riles. Hello.
Hey, how's it going, Jason?
I'm good. Welcome to the Svenska eRacingligan.
I am excited. I'm excited to try not to butcher all these names. You'll see me with using car numbers more than anything, most likely. But excited to be here. Heard a lot of good things about the Swedish iRacing League, and I am just glad to be able to check in on what looks to be such a very full field of drivers right now.
Yeah, don't worry about butchering the names. We still do. So I think we managed to lower expectations on that one.
Well, there's one that I really want to get right, and I'm gonna look it up right now. If you can kind of go over where are we at right now? Phoenix Motor Speedway.
Yeah, exactly. Phoenix with obviously the open dog leg, as we're just in qualifying here watching Alexander Aronson go around the track for the first time. So everything paved is fair game here, apart from the wall. Seen it a few times, even at Phoenix, where some people have decided to try and use the wall to get a bit of an advantage on the last lap, but that has been outlawed here.
Yeah, and it doesn't work too well here at Phoenix. You can try it, but generally, most often, because Phoenix is just so awkward. If you look at it from the top, it's got a very long sweeping 1 and 2, and it's not really conducive to that kind of wall riding in 3 and 4 like one would think, just because it's so far back. But yeah, definitely won't see any of that this time around. Hopefully, with this many drivers, we're going to see a lot, like you said, war of attrition. But Phoenix has kind of turned into the one lane. Once the tires wear off, it really just gets back down to who can get the lowest, who can work the hardest down at the very, very bottom. As Alexander Alderson, it's already beginning, is taking the pole right now with 27 seconds and 01. So that would be a good one. But the one I wanted to get definitely right was Mr. Dennis Sturp. I wanted to get that one right because he's been talking to him on Facebook, team owner of the Superior Import Team Superior. So I wanted to be sure and get Dennis's name correct. But so far, so good. Let us know in the chat how we can help out, give this thing a better show. We are live in 3 locations, I believe. We're on our YouTube channel, Sim Racing Media LLC, over on YouTube. Also, the Svenska eRacingligan, hopefully I said that correct, over on their YouTube and Twitch as well. So only way to make sure we see it, though, is head over to our YouTube, have it open in the other window, and then we've seen the chat very active on Twitch. So we'll kind of keep an eye on that as much as we can. But so far, so good, Jason. It's going to be a blast here in the desert.
It is, and I am just going to be working on something because it looks like their Twitch side has gone down, back up.
It looks like it got about 30 seconds on it. Let me check caster. But it's going to be a good one. Alexander still on top of the leaderboard. No one able to get him off with that 27.01. Only a couple of drivers left to have the ability. One of them is going to be Linus Broström in the 7th position. Nothing doing there. Not going to make it. And then Michael Blixt has going to have the opportunity in the 095 to kind of make things work a little bit better for him. But that's about it right now. Looking like Alexander Alderson up top, Eric Blixt in second, Jonas Gunnarsson there in third, and Jesper Eriksson going to be leading in 4th, and then Oscar Fredriksson in 5th. Top 5 separated by about a 1/10 of a second so far. A lot of very consistent drawings. Even your top, let's get this right, your top 14 drivers right now separated by only 2/10 of a second. From top to bottom, about a 1.5 seconds, but there is an outlier there. So overall, we're going to see a lot of really great racing. Of course, we appreciate our sponsor, the No Emissions Racing Team. Everything they do for the league and everything that they do for the teammates. You can check them out. So there's the No Emission Motorsports. So everything paved, like you said, fair game. There will be a stage break on lap 75. So caution on or after lap 71 means that stage is going to be over. And they do race heats. So these guys will race heats to decide who gets in. If you want, Jason, I can take over broadcaster while you're...
It is okay. I think the Twitch is going to be sorted on their side, so I don't think that's to caster seems fine to me, but we'll go over the grid for the sprint heat race here, just to get the rest of the qualifying order, as there are 18 cars here, so everyone will be through. We've got Bjorn Broström and Sebastian Broberg on the front row, with Daniel Solo and Philip Björk in row number 2. Row 3 is going to see Philip Carlin and Jonas Forss, with row number 4 being Connie Lundell and Marcus Strömberg, and Amelie Figueroa and Haflidi Johansson round out the top 10. James, do you want to have a go?
Yeah, and then after that we have Johan Larsson there and Dennis Scherp, not Scherep, as we've been saying, but Dennis Scherp there in 12th position. Martin Jeskinik really messed that one up, 13th. Daniel Blomqvist in 14th. Marcus Stiller there in 15th. Pontus Nalsson in 16th. Michael Blixt the second there in 17th. 18th is going to be Robert Eriksson.
And that is going to round out the grid for this heat race. As I said, everyone getting through. We only run these heat races because obviously there are only 40 pit stalls, and well, this is quite a popular league. So if you get more than 40 people in and you're running only 40 pit stalls, it gets a bit awkward.
Absolutely, but luckily these guys, what a good problem to have, and it just speaks to the racing we have here. It's off week, so they do, if I'm not mistaken, they do the Gen 5, but we're going to get going here, kind of like Talladega. They've got that awkward long straightaway because it comes in right out the exit of 2 is where pit road begins. So we're going to be running around these cars up front. The Chevrolet of Bjorn Brandstrom going to be heading us around in the 41 machine, and it is going to be an absolute blast here in the States. Be sure, wipe the tires and the visors or whatever Tony says, because it's showtime. Bjorn out to a good start, gets down super low, but not electing to go as low as we've seen throughout the week as we've been at Phoenix. 53 riding that high side. And there's another opportunity to get a little bit lower. Coming out of turn number 2, you can kind of ride that as much as you can. Caution going to come out. Huge contact, the 78. That is Jonas X Force going around there. That is going to undo a little bit of work there. Toe link issue, having some issues keeping that thing straight. I believe that happened with the blend when these drivers were trying to blend back up.
We'll take a look.
3 wide, just not doing it for them.
Yeah, so see 3 wide there, and then it's like Jonas Forss just comes up a bit into the 044 and the 53. I'm not sure how much space there was on that outside.
Yeah, racing incident. Looks like Philip could have given a little bit more room on exit, but
Yeah.
doesn't have to. You know, that's kind of the downside of there. If you do hold your ground, you end up. Looks like a broken toe link on the 44. He's going to be still down pit road trying to get that thing fixed, whereas the 78 is going to have a little bit better way around. So how are we looking on? Are we doing laps? I see time in the ticker being selected.
I have laps selected.
Well, then it's I messed up.
I believe I remember correctly that it's laps. I will check it. Yeah, 8 minutes / 10 laps, so it's...
Oh, 8 laps to go. Yeah. So, guys, again, in YouTube, let us know if we're pronouncing a name wrong. You can let us know, but typing it out probably won't help. One of the fun story, Jason, about whenever I was scheduling this league, I was talking with Linus, and I said, so we're really, with this league being Swedish iRacing, so groups all around the world, but mostly based in Sweden, we're going to need a pronunciation guide. And what Linus told me was, no, sir, we're going to not give you a pronunciation guide. We think it would be a lot funnier to hear you guys try and pronounce our names. So don't shoot the messenger. That's just what we were told. And I like it better that way, Jason. I think it's a lot more fun out here trying to get it right.
I mean, for the first few races, it was definitely a lot funnier. We were just stumbling over every single name and just not able to commentate. But it's always good action, and now I've at least got a decent amount of the names down, I hope.
Yeah, and
this time.
Yeah, no help from Linus, but I do appreciate the work he's done to get this league off the ground and working in a new environment. We do appreciate him. And that Chevy Pace truck's going to drop down below. And again, we got a little bit longer of a start. Here we go. Green flag is out. Huge jump on the 13 machine. Daniel Solo out to a huge lead. Jonas Broström going to be stuck there sleeping in the 41 machine. Started on the pole. Falls back quite a bit to fourth. And this is kind of what we're going to see all day, folks, is everybody just trying to find their groove. The key to Phoenix is going to be finding speed throughout the run. Oh, we're going to reckon Martin. Is that Martin Logistic?
Yeah, that is Martin Liesnich.
Liesnich. There we go. He is going to be coming down there. Are we going to stay green? We are staying green here.
Yeah, as the iRacing officials have fallen asleep slightly, but we'll see Dennis Scherp trying to make up some positions here on Marcus Stromberg. It seemed that the transition onto the dogleg, onto that apron, is can be quite deadly sometimes if you don't get it just perfect.
Yeah, definitely. One thing I've seen about this track... Oh, look at that!
Bye!
Close, but that's going to keep rolling as well. That's Daniel Blomqvist, or I'm sorry, Sebastian. Yeah.
Marcus Stiller, that one.
Marcus Stiller. Yeah, he is going to get sideways as well, but that's what we've seen here. It's flatter than it looks. It's not a very banked track here in Arizona. More often than not, especially when you get down, there's a couple little sneaky bumps right coming down pit road. And then on that yellow line that can really unsettle these next-gen cars. And I've been seeing that all week long, where cars will go down a little bit lower than they need to, and then just bottom out, get that right rear off the ground, and
yeah, and this is where hopefully we don't see it, but you get some drivers who opt to not go down to that apron. And then, obviously, you have some drivers that will always go down to the apron, so you have a driver that always goes down to the apron on the top of a driver who never does. It sometimes doesn't go too well as a white flag comes out for Daniel Solo here.
Yeah, the white flag going to come out here for Daniel, doing a really good job getting 2 positions, but Bjorn Broström is not doing as well. He's going to fall back to 6th place on that one. But yeah, going down to the bottom, you can only do it for a couple laps. It's kind of a tool you have to have in your tool belt because everybody else is going to be using it throughout. But the wear on the tires on the long run is just not conducive to doing that every time. You do not gain as much of a speed advantage as you do on those very, very fresh tires as the 19 of Pontus Nilsson goes around.
That's not ideal. I don't think he's actually finished the race yet, or has he?
He's got 0.4 laps left to go. He's having some issues with that machine, but not going to matter for him.
I was going to say, that's done either way, so now we can take a look at the... well, we can't take a look at the grid proper just yet, because we're just in the warm-up period, so why don't we take this little time, get the point standings up. I can't, apparently. That's not very nice. But, either way, I can do some reading. That's better than nothing. We have... Once I find it... We do in fact have Jesper Eriksson up at the top of the standings. Just checking that I'm reading the correct one. My apologies. We'll get to that at some point.
Absolutely. Do we want to talk to our pole sitter, Alexander Alderson here?
I think we'll leave it for now, as we've got quite the grid to get through.
Oh, absolutely. 38 cars going to start with our pole sitter. Of course, once he gets there on the track, that's when we'll begin in the 24 Chevrolet. A lot of Chevrolets in the field today, only a handful of Fords, more Toyotas than Fords. I think that's a first time for me. No Volkswagen, no Kia, not yet at least.
No, we've got some Volvos.
We do have a couple Volvos.
Yeah, we do.
Oh, I see you. All right, so Alexander Alderson is going to start in the pole. Next to him is going to be Eric Blixt and Jonas Gunnarsson inside row number 2. Jesper Eriksson outside row 2. Row 3 is going to be Oscar Fredriksson, and outside him is going to be Michael Halfedison. Holy. Oh boy. And then inside row number 4, Linus Broström with Andre Salander in 7th. 9th and 10th, row number 5 is going to be Tony Olivin and Thomas Peterson. Row 6, Haken Schott and Hendrik Lindhoff. Anton Bratberg is going to be in 13th with Anton Offman on his outside. And then 15th and 16th is going to be Daniel Halmer and Jonas Skoglund.
So, sorry about that one, but we've got Kim Newholm and Peter Helmbro 19th and 20th, and then the rest of the grid is, as we saw them finish, in the heat. And now we are ready to round turn 4 and get the green flag to get the no emission 300 at Phoenix underway.
The green flag is out. Alexander Alderson and Jonas Gunnarsson working on each other to start this thing out. Jonas up 1 position. Eric Blixt in the 95 in 3rd. 4th place right now is going to be Jesper Eriksson. He started there. He's going to finish there. As you see those cars bottom out, going down through the dogleg. and give the advantage. Is he on the inside? No, nothing doing, but caution flag is out later in the field. Blending up, not doing too hot, is going to be Philip Carlin there in 36, but not too much damage, not too much sparks on that 22 machine. Going to take a look back, see what happened.
Yeah, unfortunately I don't think I'll be able to grab it as my computer really doesn't like big fields, but we will attempt to excuse my settings. We will attempt to run more cars, but I am changing back if it doesn't work. It's not working. I'm changing back.
Me, the stream code.
We'll have to unfortunately settle for 25 cards. So yeah, unfortunately there I'm not able to fully show you why that crash happened. So I can say that Martin Liesnich is in the pits. Sebastian Broberg doesn't appear to be here. Saw Philip Carlin. Also doesn't appear to be here anymore. Oh no, he won't be in the pits.
Right, if you would like, I am connected. So if you want to shoot it over to my computer, we can do it that way.
That would probably work well, as my game has just frozen as well.
So there we go. Oh, so Twitch channel is up and running again. Good to see that. So now I am going to take over with the very, if you could send me that SDK file, we'll be ready to go here.
Yeah.
As the pace lights are off in the truck, Eric Alderson.
Am I able to stop streaming?
Yes, you should be.
Cool. I will
Double check.
wait.
Sorry about the technical difficulties, folks. We had two issues. Just make sure you change your connection mode to commentator whenever you're ready.
Yep.
And we are going to be going from here. Alexander Alderson out front with Jonas Gunnarsson not too far behind. Eric Blixt there as the fan out, just looking absolutely gorgeous. Okay. There we go, up and running. Make sure we're good on Twitch and Facebook. I think we are, as we are rocking and rolling here. Michael Halafison there in the 6th place, and just all throughout the field, everybody having trouble, having issue trying to get back together. And here's what we're gonna do, guys. This is what we have to do. Oh, the 9 and the 14. Still wrecking the 140. Big crash. As the big one happened here, Andre Solander involved, Daniel Homer, Thomas Peterson. A lot of folks involved with that one. Sure, I get your audio correct. All right, go ahead, Jason.
Ah, your game looks so much better than mine.
Yeah, just upgraded, so it should look really. Hopefully, looks okay. So let's take a look at what happened. Caution is out. No, Andre Solander was involved. That was way after everything had happened. So here's where it all started. Everybody trying to get lined out. And then O just sent. The 9 sent it into the 140. Not expecting that flat to really be there for him. And from there, it's hard to get these cars slowed down here at Phoenix, ladies and gentlemen. It is definitely hard when you got so many stacked up, and it's just one after the other gets into the 140. 42 involved, the 101's around. Just a lot action to try and call here. It's Alexander Alderson going to stay out front. Now the Facebook is having issues, of course it is. But definitely, it's already starting. You can kind of see what these drivers are having to get used to, and they're going to have to settle down. They're going to have to settle in, because otherwise we're going to be in for a long race.
Question, are you in the same room name? So I put it on commentary and it doesn't appear to be changing? Or are you just on Dennis ship? Oh, you are. Cool. That's fine.
We're taking a look at that. I'm going to get this project file updated and up to you guys. And we apologize to the Svenska iRacing login. Getting it figured out for you. It's kind of one
sound better through Discord as well.
Say again?
Marcus Hagman in the chat saying that I sound better as well now. So I sound better through Discord.
I don't know. I'm going to try and get him a little bit. I'm going to try and get that English. I don't know how to say it. The excitement. We're going to hop the excitement up a little bit. The more you work with me, we're going to get very worked up here as Alexander Alderson still out front. He's had the pole and he hasn't let it go, Jason.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, he's had a few cautions to work with. Obviously, that helps a bit, but you've still got to be able to defend it, and he's done that pretty well here.
Yeah, absolutely. And if anything, when you're out front, we're going to see when he does take this advantage, and we see what all he's going to be doing with the machine. On that rear, it's so easy to get that jump right when he gets that green. Because of that Geico restart zone, he has that built-in advantage to be able to jump out in front of everybody and really not worry about what anybody else is doing. That's their problem. If they want to dive down super low, they still have to blend up into the track. And I think that's where we're really going to see these top 5, top 10 guys really show out, is who can get to the bottom faster, who can get down there and kind of make this thing happen to jump those spots. And then on the inverse, we're going to see a lot of folks that can't. So green flag is out, starting on the single file line. That surprised me there, guys. So everybody's going to get rolling. Take a look from our blimp shot here. Single file really going to help some folks out. Notably Alexander Alderson, but Jesper Eriksson working to the bottom of Jonas Gunnarsson.
Yeah, going for the move here through 3 and 4. The inside lane tends to be better, but Jonas Gunnarsson has got a good exit there. Eriksson choosing to go all the way down on that dog leg, but through 1 and 2, you tend to be able to defend really well around that outside. And Jonas Gunnarsson in his Volvo is pointing out very well for us here today.
Absolutely. Got out there, and now he's able, and they're still battling it out. Inside lane is preferred here for the majority of the race because they have the ability. If they want to, they can lock that guy up there. That's what we just saw. Jesper Eriksson decided, hey, I'm on the bottom, and you're not going to be able to cut the course at all. So they kind of run the initiative, but they can also fake you out next time around and go straight down the field and try and get that advantage. But every second that he's playing with Jonas here, he is wasting his tires away. That right rear we've seen gets really worn out on these flat tracks. Eric Blix has the best seat in the house behind these two, watching them run.
Yeah.
Now he's going to take the advantage, as I believe Jesper got a little too low on the apron. Now he's going to be fighting for fourth. Unable to make the pass happen, did not. Now he's going to be fighting with the 95. Later on, Oscar Fredriksson, he's lined up pretty well. As Jesper goes to the very bottom, fourth, and caution is out. Let's see what happened. The
Looks like
140
Andrei
is around.
Zolander's round.
Of course, catching the back end every single time.
Yeah, I was gonna say that joins in the middle of a story.
Yeah, let me get those settings corrected real quick. Usually, quality of life on my end of things. All right, let's take a look here. Fix it. Sure didn't. Break the fifth wall for a moment just to get you guys the action you need. That's where it started on the pass, and then just cooked into it a little too hard, possibly a little bit of net code, and then toe links broke.
Yeah.
And look at those cross-eyed tires there. That is not good for the 140. Oof. Do we have any fast repairs here, Jason?
I don't think we do. No, we do not. No fast repairs. So unfortunately for Andrei Zolander, that's either race over or a long time in the pits. So it might as well be.
Yeah, unfortunate for Anja there. But as we talked about, I guess they did get a lap around, so they will go double file.
Yeah.
Jason, do we have any ads for Svenska?
We do not. None that I have, anyway.
No worries. So Alexander Alderson going to be in that #1 position. Jonas Gunnarsson. No, we do have some sponsors to shout out. Of course, the No Emissions Racing Team. I guess we are No Emissions. This is the most green way that you can go out and race. Go buy iRacing and get on here and have a blast. Not going to burn an ounce of fuel. You work it. But some other sponsors that we do have is the AMRT Racing Seats. You can check them out, www.amrt.se, as well as area81.se and Cliptotech Arlinahin. Very wrong. I do apologize. But anyways, they're out there. We out here. We having a good time. Hope you're having a good time watching us, but be sure and check out some of those sponsors for the Swedish iRacing League. You get a Swedish commentator in here to stand in the bottom corner of the track and just go at it. Translate us.
Yeah, just shout at us whenever we say anything wrong. But another thing to mention, not a sponsor, but just an interesting little fact here. For the first time in Svenska eRacing history, we have 3 father-son pairs on the grid.
Absolutely. Linus Broström he's currently running 6th. His father is, well, of course, actually, I don't know. I think Linus is the son.
Yes, he is.
And
this is the son of Björn Broström in the 41.
41, there he is, currently running 24th. is the father there, and then we got a couple more, Michael Blixt and Eric Blixt. Eric having a good run as we're about to go green. We'll get the rest of them out very quickly. As I am eye blind to, there's Michael. He was not able to run, but he did in some issues early. And then Afald Heflady. Yeah, we're not doing that. You got this one.
Got Michael Hefliderson in the 81 and Heflidi Johansson in the 52. With Michael being the son and Heflidi being the father. And we get to see the more traditionally Scandinavian way of doing last names, the patronymic last name. It's interesting to see as we're about to go green here. Alex Aronson once again having the button and once again getting a lovely jump on the field. Eric Blixt is going to try and follow through here. Looks like everyone's got away fairly clean
for the most part, and that shot just kind of shows what people are looking for. But for the first time, Alexander having to deal with lap traffic, the 101.
We're going to be 4 wide
as low as possible. Just the
nearly 4 wide.
Yeah, 3 totally different lines back there. As we see Eric Blixt and Michael Dolphison. Caution is out. Looks like it's Eric Lundenberg. He is face to face with the 83 of Jonas Gunnarsson. And then was that our leader? No, it was not. It was someone with a similar paint job.
You reckon they waved to each other as they were facing each other?
I bet I can think of a couple fingers that were up. But we're gonna run an ad, and we'll be right back. All right, we are back here, still under caution, lap 25 of 188. Talked about that father-son group and these guys getting together and having a good time on the sim. Man, you can't buy that, and especially these Swedish iRacers just coming on and showing that, hey, we're gonna get everybody in here, be as inclusive as we can. With regards to speed, that's what's going to get you in. But those father-son duos, love to see them in here, Jason.
Oh, yeah, and I think not necessarily a nation you would expect to be really, like, second in the iRacing craze. Like, obviously, you got the United States, where iRacing is a big thing, especially in the sim racing communities, obviously, but this is just showing to me that Sweden is probably second rather than anywhere else, because I can't think of a UK league, especially one that does ovals, that would get anywhere near a 38 car turnout.
Yeah, absolutely. And the best thing about these guys is not only the turnout they have, but how active these guys are in the Discord and how active that they are to kind of give each other help and talk to each other. I don't know what the heck they're saying at all, but I will say that they definitely are very active in the chat, and we appreciate them. We'll get this going here. Make sure my fan speed is at 100%. So yeah, these guys coming out here, the 24 car leading us around though one more time, or probably way more than one more time, but that's what we're working with on lap 27 of 188. The call.
Araldson keeping the pace very steady as we march towards that green flag. Takes the jump nicely once again, and battling for second place with a melee behind. Jesper Eriksson now in front, maybe still in front of Jonas Gunnarsson, as Linus Broström and Michael Fredriksson side by side. Michael on the inside, Linus on the outside.
Still fanning out here on lap 29, trying to find out where that speed is and when these tires are going to go away. Side by side, Linus Broström and Eric Lixt. Looks like up and forth. As it's just, again, we're going to see nobody is selected to come down the road. Caution is out again. We got a couple different drivers. Amelia Agrel in the 4.
Can confirm that the next restart will be single file.
Here's how these races work. This is why I love the fast break. Oh, the 44 got hooked. That's what happened. And came down the track. And, wrong place, wrong time is the 4 machine.
Shouldn't be too bad for Emily, though.
On board, but sees the issue happen, and then bam.
Wasn't hit any walls, luckily.
Yeah, hard contact in that left rear can definitely cause you some issue. I believe the 44 was already a lap down.
Yeah, looks... No, I don't think so, actually.
From the blimp, I think that's going to be our best option here. As just tries to blend up. Spotter was staying quiet, did not tell him he was clear, and that's going to spin him across the nose, the 97. And then just the little love tap on the 4 at the end there. Gotta hold the brakes in that situation. I know there's a lot going through your head when you're spinning around, because you know he was not expecting to find that car up there, but definitely got to pay attention to when what the other cars on the track are doing.
Yeah, and I have to say, if you ever want some reaction training for wreck avoidance, the Indy cars are at Talladega this week in official races. So go do that. I've done that a few times. It's scary.
Yeah, it's because especially all of us silly oval guys decide to go over there and say, "Oh, let's they're at Talladega. Let's go pitter patter. Let's get at her." Well, actually, we try bump draft. We try and do some really silly stuff in those cars that really aren't designed for it, and end up causing a bunch of wrecks. So, not to get us too bad, but kind of what we do. For whatever reason, iRacing does not like to be the selected window when I'm streaming. God.
Oh.
But Can we pull in here
Not
to talk?
particularly
Well,
useful.
I guess we're one to go, actually. Well, getting there.
We will be, yeah. And yeah, another mention that Linus Broström, not one but two family members in this race. Emily Fagrell being Linus Broström's fiancée.
Hey. Well, congratulations to them on their engagement.
Yeah, I believe the namesake of the last oval race we did here. Because I think that was the racing couple 250. Yeah, that's what Martinsville was called.
So pace car is off of the track. We're going to be taking the long way around. Alexander Alderson still out front, led every single lap so far. Nope, nobody electing to come down pit road that time around except the couple in the back, of course, Emily and Jonas, Marcus, and Haflidi Johannesson. This green flag is out. Here we go. Going to bunch them up, get them rolling. Jesper Eriksson, good jump. Not going to let him get too far out ahead. Jonas Gunnarsson, Eric Blix behind him. Linus there in 5th place, trying to get rolling. Michael Hidal. Killed me, Jason. Everybody lines up. It really kills the flow, I'm telling you. If you're watching the broadcast, absolutely sorry that my flow is dead here. Usually I'm racking these out. But Eric Blix still down there. He's trying to make a move, get back his positions. Farther back, look at who's diving down to the bottom. I believe that's Tony Ullivan in the 8 machine diving down, trying to get some positions there. Biggest movers of the race we'll check out as we see some side-by-side action. Up front in the top 10, almost everybody in the top 10 came from there, started there, except Henrik and Daniel Solo. Daniel, if you'll remember, won the heat race. Well, he's up 13 positions so far, and he's still not our biggest mover. We've got Johan Larson currently in 15th. He started in 31st. And Daniel Bloomquist actually started in 34th, if I'm reading that correctly. But yeah, 33rd. So 18 positions gained there. Worst luck has to be Schlott.
Quite what I have.
Or Alexander. You know what? It's probably because I restarted halfway through. But that's what we're going to roll with.
I mean, so did I, so that doesn't help.
So that's what we're going to roll with. I do know that Daniel Solo did start a little bit farther back because of he had to work his way in. So maybe that math checks out, more or less.
I mean, we know he started 21st, so that can be the rock.
There we go. That is there. So Anton Ullman, he's trying to make his way to the bottom of the track. That's going to be trouble there, working with the teammate. We've got 79. Stuck behind him. He's going to have to find his way through. So this is what we were talking about a little earlier. Is we're just running through the field like a madman. Alexander Alderson has had his work cut out for him. Jesper Eriksson coming up with a little bit quicker lap time, and Jonas Gunnarsson almost a tenth faster that last time. Just all the way through the field. Alexander kind of slowing down. Everybody else trying to work their way back in.
Yeah, and do you appreciate here that we can see very quickly who's teammates with who? Because I like the fact that we've got some very similar liveries being run.
Yeah, absolutely. As we see Marcus Stiller, he's trying to make something happen there on the bottom. Again, this is that same battle we saw before.
Ooh.
Marcus, and if you could,
Using the apron.
Could you find me who is in the No Emissions racing team? We'll shout those guys out here pretty quick.
I can have a look. I'm not sure if it's a It is a team here.
No emission at first. I've got Stefan. Hey, I called that name out.
Yeah, I've got Stefan Wong, Kenneth Tier, and Thomas Peterson. Who Thomas was running the number 9, but has already unfortunately retired. I don't think Kenneth Tier has been able to make it today, unfortunately.
They're probably watching, knowing they weren't going to make it. They said, you know what, we're going to sponsor this thing anyways. Appreciate, shout out to No Emission Race Team. And of course, probably what they stand for, No Emission, Green Future. Trying to net zero those emissions in these NASCAR Series car running on ethanol. We're doing our part. But through the field here, let's just go ahead and run you through them. And you got the 24 car in that first place position. Jesper Eriksson there in second. Jonas Gunnarsson in third. Eric Lix and Linus Broström fifth. Michael Haflidsson in sixth. Oscar Fredriksson in seventh. Henrik Lindorf in eighth. And Tony Aludvin in ninth. And Daniel Solo in 10th. See, it helps if I do a Swedish accent, but it feels wrong, Jason. It feels wrong to do it.
It sounds slightly better from my my untrained ear.
Yeah, you know, I feel that's what we need to do. Kim Nalholm, we have Peter Helmbrock, Anton Brattberg, Jonas Foss. It's getting worse. I'm trying to do it too hard.
Oh dear.
Daniel Blomqvist, Ramqvist, Anton Hoffman, Daniel Holma, Jonah Lawson, Connie Lunda. This one's gonna give me Arten Lehinisig.
See, that one you need to change your accent for, because that is a Croatian name, I believe. Although he is living in Sweden. He reached out to me a few weeks ago, letting me know the pronunciation of his name very kindly.
Well, don't keep me from it. Clue us in.
Martin Liesnich.
Yesnich. That's right. You said that earlier.
Yeah.
This one I do know. Dennis Sherp. Sherp, not Shrep. Sherp. We can get that fixed in iRacing, so we do appreciate.
Yeah, running.
So the battle right now.
Who's running?
15th, Daniel Blomqvist. Blomqvist. Up 19 positions in the 487. Don't know if that's true. We're going with it. Up front, Alexander still trying to hold off Jesper Eriksson. We've kind of seen the plateau of the tires here at Phoenix. It's going to be hard from here on out to gain position. You can't dive down as far as you want to anymore to get those positions. It's not as free because when you coming up into turn one, it's very flat. You'll find yourself either spinning out because that right rear, we're already seeing vehicles get squirrely back there. That was I believe Anton B2.
Yeah, that was Erman.
Yeah, they will get squirrely. These cars, when you apply the throttle on those back tires without the speed that they need, it is very, very uncomfortable to be in that position. But we're going to see all the cars start doing that now. About 50 laps in. Probably, what would you say, 15 laps on this run?
I mean, we were kindly given some information before the race on how long the fuel run is expected to be, and it was expected 72 to 77 laps depending on the driver. I would believe that would just be green flag running, so obviously with the few cautions that we've had and the stage being at lap 75, I'd say a decent portion of the field will be able to make it to the stage.
Yeah, absolutely. But something to think about here if you are driving this thing and getting ready. It is going to be very hard to determine if you can make it to that lap 75. I think if you're in 13th, 14th, the position you're going to be in is, do you want to come down and pit before those pits close? Get the tires on there, get your stop out of the way, because Lottie, Dottie, everybody is going to be coming down, except starting in 16th there, Daniel Holmer could stay out, but I don't know why he would want to. Last pit stop happened in lap 31, but if you can pit and then come back out and run a couple laps, it's gonna put you behind, but you may be able to get through and not lose a lap here. I have seen it. And you're also gonna be very fast. The tire fall off already. It's about a second, so you wouldn't need to. You'd have to make your decision pretty quick, I would have to think. Correct?
Yeah. We've got 5 tyre sets, I believe. Yeah, 5 tyre sets being run. So we are fuel. Oh, I don't know. I don't know how to describe that. Let's say if you ran fuel the entire way, you'd have tires left at the end. There you go.
Yeah, you could come
That's
down.
how to say that.
You could come down for some fuel. That's what we need to happen. And we're going to see as these drivers start getting back the top 10, that fall off is going to get worse because that's right on the end of that run. And those yellow flags don't really save as much fuel as everybody wants to believe. You may get a couple laps here or there, but it's not going to get you 10, 15 laps to where you're going to be 100% in the green by the end of this thing. So big news is Alexander Alderson, he's had the button. So you kind of can save a lot more fuel up front here. It's not Talladega where you're having to work harder. It's actually better for the engine, so it does get a little bit better there. But battle for second, Jesper and Jonas side by side. You see how difficult it is to pass on old tires on the skates. Has to come right back down at the 33. And just a net loss on speed almost there with those tires because you have to be so hard into the brakes into turn 1.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, we're just finding that it's really difficult to pass on these old tires, especially considering when you go down. Oh, as caution, looks like Robert Ehrling's had an off in the 82. Currently sitting in 31st place.
Take a look. And just loose and then gets caught. These cars, and we'll go into the cockpit view here.
When everyone's thinking, don't move.
Yeah, Robert's just trying to find a place to get out. So let's take a look from his view. Kind of see what happened as he gets loose. Right when he applies the throttle there, and then just that snap oversteer that the downforce on these cars presents. And here we go. Pit stops are happening right now. Alexander came in. He's going to use his pole position to his advantage. The only one that's going to stay out is Bajorn there. As they race off pit road, give it to the 24. The pit stall coming in clutch.
Yeah, that is pretty much what he needed to happen, because we've seen that even when the tires are fresh, it's difficult to pass. Like, you've got to properly set that up. As a few more coming into the pits now, I guess just after taking a lap back or whatever they wanted to do. But Philip Björkenamli for Grell in P1 and 2 currently not having pitted. If I'm seeing them correctly.
I think they came in lap 30. I've got Philip came in lap 30, and Emily came in on that incident when she had her issue.
Yeah, so they'll be fine to the stage, but bear in mind that their tyres are going to be worse looks like most people choosing to take 4, except I see Daniel Solo as having been stopped for 9.93 seconds. Is that probably outside?
That might have been a issue, or it didn't make that
Not a me
because
problem.
I don't see anybody under 12 seconds is
Okay.
the lowest I can see here.
12 will be 2 tires then, though. Because at least 14 for a full stop.
Absolutely. So, and that's the thing about these next-gen cars as well. They're quirky. These next-gen cars were something that everyone had to figure out. But one thing that everybody figured out really quickly was that you almost don't save time taking right sides only if you need a full tank of gas. It takes about 10 seconds to fill up these tanks from empty, 10 to 13. So that's it's quicker to change the tires sometimes than it is to throw full fuel in these things. Am I right there?
Yeah, I mean, I don't tend to do many fully laden pit stops, I have to say, but it is an interesting one with especially, I guess, the one nut on the wheels rather than the 5 helps with that a little bit. But Marcus, I'm making a good point, is if anyone's trying to test a 2-tire stop, great time to do it now. It's lap 61 upon 188 as we coming towards the green flag. If it works now, it's going to work at the end. If it doesn't work, oh well, you tried.
Off to the races, Philip Jordan is going to have a mess of angry drivers behind him. Hornet's Nest. Alexander Alderson has already made his way back up. He is going to be fighting on the outside, has the advantage on tires to do so, as that huge green flag run is going to be hurting Philip. There goes Eric Blix. He's going to be working on the outside as well with the 81 and the 37, both trying to occupy the same space. The 44 gets loose in front of the field, decides to come down right where some drivers are going to be thinking about coming. Ooh, that was close on the 44. You took the gamble to stay out for field position. And that's what happens here. We're going to get the lap break at lap 75. As again, just very hard to save these. And yeah, a lot of drivers were so upset, Jason, whenever these cars came out because they thought, oh, this is so unrealistic. I can't save the car anymore like I used to in the Gen 6s. Well, then you watch NASCAR and you find out that drivers are having the same issues because in real life, just because of the downforce that these cars have, that rear spoiler is so small that in the Gen 6s, when it didn't have any help, it was very hard to get that thing. You could kind of drift a little bit, but here now, because of the rear diffuser, we're gonna get a good look at the rear diffuser on somebody's machine here eventually. Now, where's my closest interval so I can get that done? Get there one day. But because of that rear diffuser, it's kind of like a spoiler underneath the car that uses that air that's going underneath the vehicle and directs it upwards. Really makes it to where these cars are just absolutely stuck to the ground. I'm gonna get a look at Eric Bliss. His diffuser there. That's one of the things NASCAR went to. We zoom in from our camera here with our special high-tech camera angles. That's one of the things NASCAR decided to go to because they wanted to have more air and more downforce on that rear suspension, that independent rear suspension. And I think they completed. I think they did what they needed to do. It's definitely harder to save these cars on the flat ovals.
Yeah, definitely, and it's really an interesting skill to be able to save a car with at least some downforce rather than the minimal downforce that the previous generations used to run. It's just like you have to predict when to come out of the slide before it's even happened.
Yeah,
but good luck.
Yeah, and one of the things that I would give the advice of course, I broadcast. That's why I don't race in these leagues, because I'm not as good as these drivers. But hey, my 2 cents. If you're driving these next-gen cars and you feel it start to get loose, you want to snap back and try and counter steer, but here you really just want to go to neutral. Get that car pointed in the right direction unless you're too far into a slide, but it's just everyone overcorrects just a tad little bit. You see that when these cars slap the wall, as we saw earlier, that hard right, he was probably at 4 o'clock on the old clock there, that really hurt him. You got to go to neutral or just past neutral in these cars, because it will gain traction as you brake and as you slow down, especially immediately when you get off the throttle because of that rear downforce. But I digress, folks. Do appreciate you checking out the No Emission 300, the absolute worst with iRacing versus the non-existent brakes. Yeah, and yes, until you start to get the car loose and the diffuser stops working. Well, then it starts working very quickly, and that's what the problem is for the most part. It doesn't work, and then once you get the car straight, it immediately works. So Alexander Alderson going to have the button. Eric Blixt not too far behind. Jesper Eriksson, Michael Hadalfsson, Linus Broström, and Daniel Solo going to get started. As Alexander going to hit that Geico restart zone, get this ball rolling. I'm 67 of 188. Stage break incoming, but not thinking about that right now is Alexander. He is gone. See the rear bumper, everybody kind of fan out, trying to find some speed. Caution flag is out. Huge issue in the back. Still wrecking. Hold the brakes, hold the brakes, hold the brakes. Tony Oliphant involved. Jonas Skoglund, Pontus Nelson. What's happened afterwards?
Take a look back and see how that one happened. And yep, this is... I said this in the pre-race. You got some people who like to run that inside on the dog leg, some people who don't. And if you got someone who does, up high of someone who doesn't, then sometimes it goes wrong. It happened.
This is kind of where it started. Yep, that's exactly where it started. The 83.
Yeah, the 83 didn't particularly want to use the open dog leg, the apron down there, and the 19 maybe expected him to.
Yeah, and here's the thing about this, that you cannot expect everyone to go down. Now, this same thing happened in the championship race, but the 83 is definitely expecting to use that middle groove. But that's the racing surface. Below the yellow line is not the racing surface, no matter how much everyone uses it as such. So the 19 has got to be aware here that possibly not everyone's going to dive down. That's the downside of that outside lane. So definitely some, and there was some, I believe, some extracurriculars on this one as well. Later on, we saw Tony Bovinen and the caution came out, meleeed by somebody, and then on the brakes, another hit.
Gets collected.
So bumper cars. I do believe that is going to take us to the stage break. I'm not 100% sure here. They might have a shootout.
I don't think so, actually.
Yeah, we're going to have a shootout to the stage break, lap 75. Probably going to get the green flag around lap 73.
Sounds about right, because this caution was called before lap 71. We're on lap 71 now, so we will get a shootout to the stage. We'll see if anyone can break Alexander Aroldson's, well, a bit of dominance up here at the front so far. We're going to be single file for the restart, so that's probably going to help him a bit.
Yeah, absolutely. No fresher tires that he really has to worry about. Only problem that I can see coming into this is he's going to have the better jump, but he also has a faster car that he doesn't have to keep on the outside. So that outside car is going to have the advantage of being able to follow his exact line down through the group there, and I think that's what's going to be the difference.
Yep, and so lights are out on that pace truck now, so it's going to take the left turn into pit lane just out of turn 2, and then Aroldsson can hold the field as he's done a few times so far. Just try and take the green flag as he's done every other time.
Yeah, absolutely. He's going to have the opportunity. Going to take the stage break, and then now it's going to. Now you have to decide if you're going to come down pit road during the stage break. I think everyone will. Actually, it's not really much of a decision here. 20 laps, but somebody might test it as the green flag is out. That's what I was talking about. Michael Hildolfsson able to get a little bit lower. That's going to be his best friend. He has to get a little bit lower than Alexander here as they're battling for 1 and 2. Shootout for the stage win. Alexander, Michael, Eric, Jesper. Michael, the closest he has been to the back bumper of the 24. 1 to go left in the stage break. Low he goes. Trying to get side by side with the 24 for the first time of the race. Not gonna be there. Gonna have to do some more work. As gets into the 25, gets to the wall, shaves a little bit of time off. Michael gonna have the opportunity to get lower here. Coming out of 4, they're gonna be door banging down the side. Give it to Alexander. If they're going to the conclusion of 75, we have a little bit more battling left. Still side by side, the 81 and the 24. 24 has not led a lap so far under green conditions. But the 81 down on the bottom of the apron has been practicing. He had an opportunity. But because it was so close there, still Alexander definitely crossed the line there first.
Caution might have been called when Michael was ahead though, because he had a run, but definitely Aroldsson had the stage at the line. But because of the way that the cautions are working, obviously someone has to throw it rather than anything else. It looks to me like we've got Fredriksson ahead for the restart.
We're going to see if they're going to adjudicate that at all, because if we look at this to the line, I missed the line? I sure did. They're still battling. The Geico restart zone, and then right here. .24 clearly comes across early.
Yeah. Aroldson's firmly ahead, but because the line Fredriksson took through the corner.
So they're going to look at that. I do appreciate everybody in the live chat. Be sure, guys, be sure that you are liking the stream and that you are subscribed, because here's the deal. We don't make any money on likes or subscribes. Believe it or not, no one here makes any money on that. But what that does do, you like and subscribe, it gets these guys out in front of more folks because YouTube algorithm reads that. They read that you guys are liking, they read that you guys are chatting, and it allows this to show up in the feed of more iRacing and racing enthusiasts. So we definitely correlate the more views, the more opportunity for these sponsors to be seen. Sponsors such as, of course, the No Emissions Racing team. Check them out. And Area81.se. Then Digitali Media Bryra. So digital media is what I'm gathering from that. But probably Swedish. And then Botech Erlinischen. Jason, don't let me drown here, man. Step in at any time. AMRT.se as well. Get your racing seats done. And then MABI, another sponsor for these guys. You can reach out to those guys. A lot of iRacing sponsors, a lot of non-iRacing sponsors. If you've got some stuff you need done, digital media. And Jason, go ahead and give me the Clipotech. What is their actual name, so I'm not murdering it?
I believe it's Clipotech Horlinian.
Yep. Here you go. So we're gonna see what
That
happens if yeah, I guarantee you're more right than I am. As Mabi is a rental car company, so if you're visiting the beautiful Sweden, you can check out go use MABI. Get your rental car, be able to drive around on your own terms there. The Swedish countryside. Thank you, Marcus. We
I
appreciate
might visit
you in
at
the
some
chat.
point, would be nice.
Say again?
I said I might visit at some point, it would be nice.
A little bit closer for you guys. You know, as we've got a caution here, we can talk about some dumb stuff. As nobody electing to come down pit road, believe it or not, as they're trying to get this sorted out. Get a green flag I didn't know about? Oh, we're still there.
I think
Side by side.
that we never actually reopened the pit entry. So I don't know whether that does that automatically, but Linus, if you're listening, I haven't seen a pit entry is now open chat message. That might be it.
The green flag
As
is
we-
out. Michael has the advantage for the first time of the race. Alexander there in second as we are all spread out, coming out of the green flag. Just a row of cars, the way they're blending, absolutely gorgeous. Linus Broström in fourth position has found himself. Jesper Eriksson battling with Alexander. Behind him, side by side, door to door. Everyone trying to improve their lot before the upcoming stoppage that we're most likely going to get, because tires are going to wear out and these guys are going to have to run a single lane. As caution!
Ooh.
37!
That was in front of
Hey!
a lot of people.
A lot of folks still involved. Jesper Eriksson is the one I saw, but I don't see... There's Alexander. He made it through. Jesper Eriksson having to jump to the pits. That happened for a while. Let's take a look. On board Jesper Eriksson here. Oh. Looks like he got into it with our leader, or our not our leader at the time, but our long-standing front runner, who just drifted up just a little bit. And look at the save on the 24. This is how you do it, ladies and gentlemen. That is how you save a race car. It's turned, stays past that
Yeah.
neutral. Oh, absolutely gorgeous.
Cheeky little Tokyo drift through turns 1 and 2, why not?
What he must have been watching the broadcast, Jason, because that's exactly He's obviously not even in the same league as I am as far as how good of a driver he is compared to me, but that's what we saw, that halfway, get it right to neutral, don't freak out, stay calm. But later on, also Jesper Eriksson, Peter Helmbro crash. We'll take a look at what happened there. A little bit on the back end, I'm sure.
Oof.
Hard into the wall. And comes back down. Seeing that a lot, the GT3 community having a hard time holding the brakes, which is nothing against them. It's a learned behavior for sure. Definitely.
Admittedly, I didn't see much of that crash, as my PC doesn't tend to appreciate a lot of CPU load in iRacing for whatever reason.
Ship you a graphics card. It's back in the back. That's where this happened. Oh, that was just bad luck from Johan Larsson all the way around. But look at what Johan had to go through here. Johan sees what's happening. He slows down to avoid getting into the 33. Then the 48, and then the 35 bumps him and gives him a little bit of speed. And then just gets tapped and around. Goes. Still it for Johan Larsson. So lap 83, or 85, I'm sorry. The 81 of Michael Hifaldis, God bless. Eric Blixton there in second. Linus Broström in third. And Alexander Alridsson in fourth position. This is the farthest back he's been this entire race. No takers for pit road. Not sure if you, like you said, we've got the sign is closed there. Not sure.
If that is closed, then they do need to be reopened, because I believe they are only closed with 2 to go on the stage.
Absolutely, should open back up, but we'll definitely. Sure, we'll keep an eye on that. That could make this race pretty hard for a lot of folks. As we see, Michael gonna have the advantage as he comes down the backstretch there. We're gonna go ahead and run and turn it up on this restart so you can kind of see what everybody's doing. You don't have to listen to us talk anymore. Guys, remember, turn it up. Right, we are back here. Everybody getting settled out for the most part. And Jason, look who decided to come back up into the top position there. We were muted, sorry, so we'll do that again. Look who's up there.
Oh, it's Alex Haraldson right up at the top. But we've got a caution now.
Yep, looks like we will see if Philip. Short. See what happened there. Oh, hard into the outside wall. And then looked like a toe link damaged. And then absolute. Not sure who was there. Drive by, but they might need to change the pantaloons.
Just trying to see if we can get Matt in here.
So now pit road is happening. Alexander Alderson coming down pit road. That's going to give Linus the advantage. Daniel Homer there in second. Daniel Bloomquist in third. So who did we decide won the pole or the stage break?
Stage break was Alexander Haraldson who won that one.
Did they give him the points on that?
I would have to assume so.
Alright, well let's go ahead and bring in Alexander. He's here. Hopefully. And speaking the English.
Oh,
Alexander, it's James in the booth, you got me.
I got you.
There we go. Hey, so Alexander, we watched the stage break, and I know you're coming out of pit road right now, but got the stage win. How rough was that battle coming to that stage?
Yeah, Michael gave me quite a battle there those last three laps. I made a mistake on the restart here and started in second gear instead of first, which gave him the chance to battle it out for it there.
Absolutely, and on that last restart, did single file help you, or were you expecting a double file restart so you can kind of pin that outside lane?
Which restart's that?
The restart coming to the stage break before the shootout, lap 71, I believe.
Yeah, I'm not quite sure, to be honest.
You're just focused on winning. I like it, Alexander. Who you got on the
Yeah,
car?
very
Who
much.
you want to shout out?
I want to thank Mabi Höbeila and Kappa.
Absolutely. Well, appreciate you, Alex, and hopefully we can get you back up here at the end of this thing after you win.
Hopefully, thank you.
Here we go. Send Alexander back to Force Esports. Also, who we got in here? We got our third in the booth, Mr. Matt Metler. Matt, how we doing?
Dory's doing well eventually.
Most likely. No worries there. Just to talk might be an issue. But Linus Broström gonna have the button. He's one of 4 cars in the top 5 that have not pitted. Daniel Homer, Daniel Bloomquist, and Connie Lundrell have not came down pit road. So that could spell disaster for some of these drivers with 88 laps left to go. Slower tires. We're going to see what happens here on the restart. As that long start happening right there, Linus having to keep pace. Got Daniel behind him. Big jump from Linus. He's going to come down and have a very large advantage in the back. Pack of angry wolves trying to catch up here. One car in the wall, it looks like. That is Oscar Fredriksson. Some drivers trying to make their way through the pack on the old tires. Or on the new tires, I'm sorry. Working through those slower, older tires. As Jonas Scotland going to lead the charge. Last came in lap 70, not even the newest charger. And Eric Blixt as well, able to use that lower line to gain an advantage with the fresh Goodyears. Hopefully didn't heat him up too quickly. Hendrik Lindoff following him around, and then just talked to Alexander Eraldson in 8th position.
Yeah, those fresh tyre runners definitely looking to try and get through anyone who last pitted on lap 70 or even 58 as quickly as possible, but especially for against those who have pitted on lap 70, it's not looking maybe as easy as they would have wanted, as now a little bit of infighting between these, as Eric Blake's having to defend a little bit from Henrik Lindoff, but he's got Daniel Blomqvist right in front of him to try and focus on, as Alex Araldson making his way past the 91 of Connie Lundahl.
And just trying to find every advantage he can. We're already seeing him fall back there. Clicks to the 97. Last pitted on lap 97. He is having quite the run, trying to bring everybody else through. But the more that these faster cars get through, the more these other guys tend to fall back. As hard send into it is the 13 machine of Daniel Solo. Trying to get to that inside line. Did so very well. He is just climbing and climbing and climbing since his win in the heat. A little bit extra time there to figure out what works. Alexander up to the top 5. Linus still there in first place. Has not lost any ground. Actually opened it up a little bit to about a second gap. Daniel Homer and Eric Blixt fall back. They're going to now start fighting. That's what Linus wants to see. But Eric not even going to have any trouble with Daniel. Fresh tires now. We're going to see him try and catch Linus as a caution is out. He's going to catch him a lot faster than he thought he was.
That does the job pretty well for him.
The 19 running that awkward mid lane on the transition. Oh, net code for days.
Nice net code.
I believe that was net code from the 24.
Oh, yeah. I'm not so sure about it being the 24, but definitely net code.
With a very similar job. As it's already happened by this point. So I was incorrect. That happens from time to time. Luckily, I'm American and I'm confident with my incorrectness. That's the 41.
41.
Able to get and turned around the net code. It's the 19 machine. Jonas Ford. From Sweden to the
That is firmly true.
So, time to go to a quick ad break. We will be right back, ladies and gentlemen. Stick around. We're going to have more of the iRacing, the Swedish iRacing League coming to you. Only 80 laps left to go. Grab some break.
Okay.
Gentlemen, how you guys doing?
Hello.
right back under green. Linus still electing not to come down pit road. It's something that we're going to have to deal with further on, as now he has fresh tires coming up as close as possible that he can get. So we have in the boot with us now Matt Medler. Matt, are you enjoying the racing so far as Martin Lishnick? There you go. Matt, welcome in.
Thank you. Great. Glad to be here. Today's the day of first. Last night, the first time being in the eye of a hurricane. Today's my first time being up here in the booth, getting to call this race in this racing action. So I'm all about it, man. I'm fired up. Glad to be here.
Absolutely. Well, we appreciate you stepping in, as two of our other broadcasters were unable to make it. But hey, that's what we sell here at Sim Racing Media. If you're interested in getting your series broadcasted, we have folks that can step in and step out no matter what situation they've got going on. Broadcaster, you're never going to hear from us, oh, we can't do the show because of something popped up. More than likely, we're going to find somebody to run your show and get your stuff out there, broadcasters are broadcasted, because that's what the sponsors are paying for. But Linus, so far, has absolutely taken away. Alexander, though, is working his way back through.
You know, you bring up a great point. So many times people approach me and they say, Matt, it's got to be complicated. It's so simple. If you want to hook up with SRM and broadcast your guys' race, just reach out to us, get you the appropriate personnel set up, have a quick phone call. The next thing you know, we're going to have a broadcast with your league right here live on our stream. If you guys are new to the chat, make sure you ring that like, or smash that like button, ring that bell. Come right here home to SRM for all your eSIM racing action each and every single day of the week.
There you go. So again, like we said, be sure and hit that chat. Make sure you also hit the like button. What that does is it gets that algorithm, and it likes to tickle the right places and get YouTube out in front of some more folks. That is the goal. But Jason, we only have 113 laps down, so only about 60, 70 laps left in this thing. What can we expect moving forward?
Well, I'm certainly expecting some mix-up at the front, as providing a longer green flag run, I think Eric Blix is going to eventually be able to find his way past Linus Broström on those fresher tires. Daniel Holmer still out, having pitted last on lap 58 as well, so can be seeing a few guys behind him trying to get past. Alexander Arnoldson really going to be wanting to get back up to the front, as that first half of the race he was pretty much just the leader, I think it's fair to say. So he'll be looking to get back up there, but for Eric Blixt, I think it's just try and get past Linus, try and run away.
Absolutely. Take advantage of the tires that you've got, take advantage of the strategy that you've been working, and really got to trust yourself and keep putting cars between yourself and Alexander Alderson and Michael Aflidison, as that is the duo that seems to be causing the most trouble and having the biggest advantage getting out. As Michael, as we talked about earlier, Michael Aflidison is one of the father-son duos racing today. Afladi Johannesson is his pair there. Currently running 24th. So three father-son duos in the race. We'll talk to them some more. But Linus is the talk of the town right now, trying to make something happen where he's going to get out in front and have the advantage in that purple 71 machine. Eric Blitz is going to try and take advantage of tires here on the green flag. Good restart by the 71. He's going to get moving behind him. Daniel Halmer and Hendrik Lalmick get moving. 24, Alexander Alderson makes it to the bottom line where he wants to be. He's going to be on the move to the front. 3 wide, almost gets in the back of Daniel.
Yeah, 3 wide. You definitely don't want to do that here at Phoenix International Raceway. Smartly, he backs out the gas. That had wreck potentially written all over it. You said the 71 of Linus was the talk of the town, and he had something to say on that restart. He smashed on that loud pedal. What an excellent restart. He checked out on everybody for the initial course of this run as we go back green. Currently, he's under siege on the inside, though, from the 95 machine of Eric Blix. He's going to contest for the spot as they go down the backstretch.
95 still working the inside, just about going to get it slid up in front of the 71 of Linus Broström, but watch out for Henrik Lindorff on that inside now. It's now looking like Michael Fleddersen trying to get past Linus now. So, no, not past Linus, sorry, past Daniel Holmer. As Alexander Arnoldson just waiting and watching, trying to get his opportunity now, as he is able on the inside.
Absolutely. We got a car a little bit slower there on the inside. What we're looking at, folks, is Eric Blix has finally walked off with it. Linus trying to hold off Daniel Holmer, another car on older tires, trying to hold off Alexander, and he's not going to be able to do it for long, especially coming into these turns. Those newer tires are going to be able to fly down, but we are going to see a plateau effect. But when do they have to come down? When does Linus and Daniel have to start thinking about fuel? Last pitted lap 58.
Yeah, if we were
Well,
expecting
if they just last pitted lap 58 here in the next gen car, that certainly has to be on the driver's mind and the team's mind right now. You're certainly going to be coming up in that fuel window here within the next few laps around the racetrack. How about that 71 machine? He started in P1 on that restart. He's currently going the wrong way. However, I think there may be a tire offset there. I think he may be on some older tires as he's currently fallen all the way back to the 4th position.
Yep, he would be correct. But I am just loading back in here as my game had a freeze, so I'll let you continue on for a little bit, Matt.
Copy that. All right, guys, back out front. The 95 car is 95 time. He's your current leader, Eric. Currently running second, the 8 CL1 Chevy Camaro of Henrik Lindorff. In third, the Ford Mustang of Michael. I'm not going to attempt that last name. I'm sorry about that, but that's currently your top 3 as they run right now. Currently, the best racing action on the racetrack is going to be between the 24, the 33, and the 71. That's kind of where that hornet's nest is brewing on the racetrack. 71's been pretty committed to that bottom line on the racetrack, but you got to wonder when he's going to start maybe trying to pick up some speed and venture to one of the outside lines, because right now he's just getting beat. He's going in the wrong direction in a hurry, and look for him to want to stop the bleeding.
And I'm back. So, yeah, exactly. I mean, for those who last played lap 58, I mean, we're expecting, what, 75 laps of green flag-ish running on a fuel tank? That's going to be looking quite low here, and the tyre deficit is getting pretty evident now as it is. Linus Broström, very quick driver, just unfortunately not very quick tyres at the moment, as we see Jonas Gunnarsson is looking to get past Alex Arnoldson here. He's working the inside of that 24 machine. Our pole sitter for today, who is unfortunately having to look in his mirrors now, as he may have been expecting to just try and move forward here, but Gunnarsson gonna put a little bit of a cork in that, as not able to get through, but definitely losing Arnoldson some time and helping out any teammates that Gunnarsson has in front.
Couldn't have said it better myself. You know, the 33 does a great job there of just showing me some really good mental control. You know, the 24 was faster. You know, he let him go right on by, didn't contest the position. That's how you race the racetrack. You don't race yourself. Survive and be alive at the end. That's when it counts. Good heads-up move there by that driver. Currently taking a look here at the 79 machine. He's currently running, looks like, here in the 7th position. That's going to be Daniel Homer. Got that car rotating the center of the corner. Looks pretty stable there. Picks up the throttle, running the higher side of the racetrack, and that's going to be probably the preferred line as the night goes on and these tires continue to fall off. 13 just about painting a bead on his back bumper.
Yep, now still looking on for the 13 right behind Holmer. Still looking to make a move on that bright esports car as he may get the opportunity now as we cut away and then cut back again as that Volvo of Daniel Solo looking to make that move through 1 and 2, though Holmer's going to have a good run into caution as Connie Lundell finds themselves in a barrier, as that's also Amelie Fagrell in the outside wall. We're feeling those may be linked.
Yeah, could have been a situation where everyone was fighting for the same piece of real estate on the racetrack, or the 91 could have just lost it on his own.
Looks like the 91 and the 016 had contact. I have a feeling the 016 unfortunately came up back onto the racetrack there, but Lundell able to keep that car from hitting the wall quite as hard as it could have done. Interesting to see Martin Liesnich in that one, because I have a feeling he came back onto the track and that's where the floor got involved.
Yeah, I apologize there. I had some frame lag when we reloaded the replay, and all I seen at first was the 91 by himself.
Yep, and
However, good news for the 71. I guess this is one way you can stop the bleeding with the tires and give you a chance to come down pit road and put 4 new Dr. Feelgoods on that race car. As pit road's a hot commodity right now, a lot of teams down there getting service on their race car. More than likely, they're going to take 4 tires, take a tear off, fill it back up with Sunoco race fuel. And we're going to re-rack them and restack them out here at Phoenix International Speedway.
yeah, and I'm pretty sure that means that Linus Broström now has an extra tyre set as compared to some of the other drivers. Was it Daniel Holmer as well, who was on the same strategy as the 71? I know that at least someone else was. But
Well, hey, it's always nice to have that joker in your back pocket, though, that wild card, that extra set of tires, especially if there's a late race caution. Tires are so important here at Phoenix. You can just run so much quicker than the other competitors on the racetrack. You can pretty much go full send out there for about 10 laps. And late in the race, when you got 4 fresh tires and everyone else is on some old rubber, I mean, you can make time and make positions and put yourself in a good position to win the race should that strategy play out.
yeah, and if my high capacity numbers machine in my head is correct, I think that if needs be, anyone who stopped now can make the end of the race from here. Not sure whether you'd want to, but you can.
Well, I guess it's peace of mind to a certain degree, knowing that you have the fuel to go the distance. The other side of that is it's going to feel like that car's on a set of ice skates or a snowboard going across the ice. I imagine the tires wouldn't have any type of grip left in them if you were to run that long out there.
No, but let's put it this way. If we get a green flag run the entire way to the end, I feel like they probably will just stay out. So we'll see what's going to happen as that pace truck takes the left onto pit road, and now it's going to be Håkan Hut in the 101 Good luck to you, Matt, pronouncing that. To take the green flag.
All right. Here we go. Coming back around. Hit the Geico retard zone. Back on the loud pedal. Here comes the 10. He's going to jump hard on the gas. He's going to jump quickly out in front of the 8 and decide he's going to take full use of that dog leg as he rockets down the backstretch. They're going to fan out 2 and 3 wide behind him. The man on the move, the 71 car of Linus Broström. He's got fresh tires for Dr. Feelgoods, and he is feeling FAST fast. He's going to take a peek, look down to the inside line. I thought he was going to have a run there on the 8, but he decided better that. Here we go, side by side, 2 by 2. 71's looking for the position. Coming out of the dog leg, and we're back under caution. Again, just as the racing action was picking up, it was a hornet's nest up front.
Yeah, I mean, the 71 was able to make up some positions at least. He seems to have got past the 8, not quite able to get past the 101, so we're just seeing what's happened here. Oh, looks like 2 teammates coming together on that dog leg. Once again, it's a case of one person maybe wanting to use it, one person not wanting to use it. And unfortunately, those crashes do happen. It's just, you don't necessarily want it to be with your teammate.
No, it certainly, that looks like that was just a racing deal. I don't think there was any type of intent, or that was intentional any way, shape, or form. But certainly, when that's your teammate, that's an eyesore, and a lot of times that leads to conversations in the hauler. So you try to minimize those types of mistakes out there on the racetrack. Just a racing deal. It's, right after the restart, everyone's trying to gain every position they can on the racetrack, and they just missed it by literally a couple of inches.
Yeah, but good news then if you're Alexander Arnoldson, because he was able to make it up to first position by the time that caution came out. So he is once again back in his pole position slot, as we see there, Marcus Stromberg. Just getting collected there by his Bright Esports teammate. Not exactly.
It's possible with
it was.
Yeah, I think maybe he just got a little free down there on the bottom of the racetrack and slid up the racetrack a little bit. And, obviously his teammate thought he probably gave him plenty of room, wasn't anticipating him coming up the racetrack, and that resulted in some unwanted team-like activity out there on the racetrack, but it could have been a lot worse. Not seeing a whole lot of damage done on that race car. Should be able to come down pit road, get it fixed up pretty good, and still have some decent performance out of that CL1 Camaro.
Yeah, and something I will mention now that essentially we don't really want to mention, but we got quite a strict time limit to this race as well. So it's 188 laps scheduled distance, but the time limit that has been set on it is 2 hours and 15 minutes. Now we are about an hour and 40 through that, leaving us with roughly 35 minutes left of action at the most time-wise, so I think it's going to be quite tight if we have more cautions. A full green flag run would probably get us to the full race distance.
No, you're absolutely right. If we could stay in that 33 second bracket, that would certainly allow us to complete the race with a little bit of time remaining. However, as they say, and we're seeing it right now, cautions breed cautions. The more cautions that we see unfold on the racetrack puts us more in jeopardy of this becoming a time tournament or a time challenge, if you will, versus running the distance here on the racetrack. So another piece of information these drivers need to keep in the back of their mind if time does become the deciding factor.
Yeah, I don't think it's going to make any particularly big changes to your pit strategy. For example, I don't think it's going to really play too much in their minds. They've just got to make sure that they're in a position they want to be in when we're, say, 5 minutes to go if we're going to go to time. then that's when you really want to be trying to start making up as many positions as possible, as that pace truck once again dips below that yellow line and into the pit road. And we are able to once again see Alexander Arnoldson back up at the front and holding this field out to the green flag.
So here we go. He's going to, that iRacing Silverado is going to duck down hard on pit road. As we hit the Geico restart zone, bam, he's back on the gas pedal. That 24 knows how to restart.
Ooh,
That we got trouble.
He's kept it moving. He's kept it moving. So we're not under caution again, but that is nowhere close to ideal for the 81 of Michael Fredriksson. He was running up towards the top for the whole race, and unfortunately one little instant at the restart as Håkan Huet is getting a little bit bodied there by Tony Overnan through 3 and 4. We're going to be 4 wide here coming across the line, as you can see exactly what the older tires are doing there, the 101.
Oh, and the 8 machine just gets howitzered into the outside wall here at Phoenix. You had to know that the caution was coming. We've seen 2 masterful saves. On the restart, someone checked up, got into the back of the that Ford Mustang out on the racetrack, spun him around. Masterful save on his part, be able to keep it going. But third time's a charm. Had a whack-a-mole there on the top and howitzered the 8 car into backed it in the outside wall.
Let's see exactly what happens here as well. We see that again at the dog leg, maybe a bit of miscommunication between 2 cars, but normally it goes wrong for the car on the inside. This time it went particularly wrong for the car on the outside. So wrong, in fact, that he decided to just there and then get it back to pit road as a very hard hit to the right rear, to be fair to him. I think great work by everyone else though for not hit it.
No, I couldn't agree with you more. Great, phenomenal heads-up driving by everyone, all the other competitors out there on the racetrack. And you're right, typically it's the guy on the outside that does not get the better end of the stick on that deal. However, I think the angle of the approach is one determining factor. And I want to say the other guy did not was coming up the racetrack a little bit too as well. Hashtag no lift. I didn't see any type of evasive driving action out of that black Chevy Camaro. It's getting down to the wire here. He kept his foot in it, and on he went.
Caution, we're gonna.
Well, we're gonna get.
With the Butt Kicker Gamer 2, what you see and what you hear is what you feel. Butt Kicker. The future is feeling.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, we are back watching the battle between Linus and Jonas for third position. They have not let up. Finally, Linus gonna have the ability. So, fellas, we only got about 30 laps left in this thing. I think we're gonna have our work cut out for us. These drivers have lined out and lined up.
They certainly have lined out and lined up. There was a great battle going on, as you said, between the 33 and in the 71 out there on the racetrack. Linus Broström, the 71 machine, he's going to be the beneficiary for right now. I don't know if the 33 is going to wait or take much time. Going to make quick work of that car. Go back on the charge and try to get back by him. As you said, laps are winding down. Do we make it on time, or do we run the remainder of the distance? That is yet to be seen. But back out front, the number 24 machine of Alexander Alderson. I hope I said that correctly. That CL1 Camaro is looking fast. He is making some great lap times around the racetrack, and he is definitely making a statement right now that he is the one to beat in the closing laps.
Yeah, and now we've got a battle heating up in the mid-pack, 17th position, looking to be 16th position, in fact, looking to be taken by Michael Fredriksson, trying to make his way back up after an unfortunate restart a few cautions ago. He's just got past Pontus Nilsson as it is now. And he's going to be looking to move on Jonas Skoglund in front of him next. As back up towards the front, Jonas Gunnarsson still not able to find any way past, around, or even near Linus Broström. At the moment, he's getting quite close to that rear bumper, but doesn't seem to be able to find anywhere to try and look for a move yet.
If you're wondering where the level is set in Broström's mindset right now, it is pegged out. He is using every single inch of that racetrack, going high, going low, taking the middle, trying to find a little bit of a speed advantage or a little bit of a mental chess game going on. Get that guy in the front, get Broström to start driving in his rear view mirror, and you know if he just leaves a little bit of daylight, the 33 machine will take it because he wants the position. He knows time is running out.
Yeah, and there's a little bit of a teams game going on up at the front as well, as you see Alexander Aroldsson in the Forza Esports car, Eric Blixt in an Alcantech machine, Linus Broström in a Forza Esports car, and Jonas Gunnarsson in an Alcantech machine. So it's just the two teams up at the front trying to see what they can do on each other. Currently it's a Force 1-3 with Alcantech 2 and 4, but we'll see what angle these guys try and go for here. Good to try and work for the win, but Haraldson's looked so solid there. Do you try and work for the 2 and 3 if you're Blix and Gunnarsson?
Well, I guess that depends on, I'm not sure if this is the championship race or not, but from a points perspective, I mean, there's nothing wrong with a solid top 5 finish. That's always going to get you consistency. It's going to get you good points, and it's going to give you good. It's going to be a good all-around team finish, especially if your other competitors under that umbrella are winning the race or finishing right there with you in P2, P3, P4 per se out there on the racetrack. If you're going for broke tonight, if this is a championship, then me as a driver, no, I wouldn't. I would do everything in my power to get up there and win the race. That's what those sponsors, every man and women on that team work so hard for all year. Glove comes off, don't hold anything back.
We see an entire line of cars using that dog leg to their advantage. It looked like they were coming out of the pits actually for a minute, as the 42 coming past Anton Ehrmann is actually just trying to make some laps back. In fact, he's, from what I can see, got fairly old tyres, so probably not going to be working out too well for him, though he seems to be able to drive it into the corners a decent amount better than some of these other guys. Håkan Huertz, we're seeing here in the 101 in the Bright Esports car, got the oldest tyres out the lot. It's not feeling good for him at this point in time, and he's got Amelie Figueroa right behind him, as we see the 19 and the 64 doing battle just in front of them as well for 19th position. Solo. Whew. That was close.
Absolutely. Looked like the 13 got a little bit loose there. Daniel Solo won the heat race, trying to make it back up there just where he can have a shot at the leader, as we don't have too much time here left. Let's see that. We have about 15 minutes left, so more than enough time to make something happen. Got to get some work done. But I don't know if he's going to have the opportunity. Alexander's been out as far as possible. Looks like 58 laps is what's going to be the end lap time that these guys are going to have. So no issues on fuel. We know they can get at least 72. 77, so no issues on fuel. It's just going to be a tire drop-off. Is anyone going to find it worth it to try and come back through the field on a short pit? I really don't think they're going to have that problem.
I couldn't have said it better myself. Looking at the current, current differentials of the competitors out there on the racetrack, the lap times, laps remaining, I just don't see that as a plausible option to come down pit road and throw 4 fresh tires on that race car, even though you're going to run substantially faster. Right now, getting back up front, the 4 machine of Alexander Alderson, I hope, again, I'm saying that right, at 24, is just consistent speed over the course of this run. He has had great short run speed, excellent long run speed. I haven't seen one bobble or twitch out of this race car as we have caution on the racetrack.
I'll park at turn 2.
Calamity corner.
Yeah. Oh, that car clearly doesn't have a suspension piece. As Bjorn Broström looks to be crabbing a little bit here as the pace truck is going to drift by him. Taking a look at Eric Blixt. Oh.
Wow.
Okay. Yeah. I mean, Linus knows that he can make it, but is that the correct call when you're not really going to have anyone behind you to defend against the people with the fresher tyres for too long, as we see focusing on Bjorn Broström here? What's going to happen? The 82 appears to have done a bit of a reverse entry into turn 2. That's not quite the correct way to take that turn, so we'll take a quick look as to why that is in just a moment.
Yeah, typically if you're coming through the corner the opposite direction, either that means you lost the car at the bottom all by yourself, which is exactly what he did. Just getting down there below the yellow line, getting on the flat of the racetrack.
Ooh.
Those tires are out, and oof, the 18 just comes in and clobbers the 82.
Yeah,
Nowhere to go.
the 18 is just gone, frankly, I think is the best word to use for that one. As Nielsen just missing that one.
Yeah, that would definitely in real life be a bell ringer, if not almost a guaranteed concussion, if not worse. But I think you mentioned the suspension piece being out there on the racetrack. There might be a couple more parts than that, because that was a violent impact.
Yeah, and just looking at the pits here, so Linus Broström being the only one to brave the waters of staying out. Eric Blixt is the next car. You may notice that has changed. Alexander Arnoldson is in 5th at the moment, as Blixt, Gunnarsson and Holmer have been in the pits for around 9 seconds each. So we think that's 2 tyres potentially. Alex Arnoldson sat there for 15, so he seems to have taken 4.
Yes, we're going to go ahead and re-rack him, restack him here again one more time. Pace lights out on the Chevy Silverado iRacing pace truck. You got a good amount of distance with this new Phoenix configuration from where the pace truck pulls down pit road till you actually hit the Geico restart zone. Almost like, feels like Talladega coming to the green. You have so much time, or that goes by before the actual, leader has the option to go in the restart zone or go on the flag. But here we go, 2 by 2. The 71 Linus Broström back up front. On his outside, he's going to have the 95 machine of Eric Britt. And here we go, back on the gas pedal. He's going to smash it through the floorboard. wasted no time getting down there on the flat so far down there in no man's land. Looked like he was coming off a pit road, but it works out good for him as he gets the whole shot. He gets the advantage as we're 3 wide behind him, and this typically does not work out good at Phoenix. These guys are still 3 wide. With the level of racing escalating out here on the racetrack, these guys know right now it is do or die, and we're seeing that as the level of intensity continues to increase.
Yep, and unfortunately for Linus Broström, I think do or die is going to be the latter, as those old tyres are not going to work out too well for him in the end, and Alexander Aronson seems to be making use of all his fresh tyres rather than 2 fresh tyres that some of the other guys have taken, but we'll see how that goes in the coming 15 laps here, as Eric Blixt leading Alexander Aronson.
Yeah, as you were talking about the 71's tire, he went on a flash date with the outside wall, and he definitely kissed it, made some contact. Not sure how bad he got into it, but he definitely had some contact there. He's on those old tires. Currently the 95, how about this guy? He's currently running one whale of a race here this afternoon and evening, putting his car in the right position at the right time. He showed some great patience, great decision-making all race long. There was times when he just let competitors go, knew they were faster, played a great chess match out here, just knew where the end game was, and he's executing right now. But he's getting a bumper full of the 24. In that 24 car, let's just face it, he has been FAST fast all night. He's going to crank it, eating down on the inside of the racetrack. Going to try to pull the old slide job on the 95. And decides not to at the last minute, because he probably would have put him in the wall. Better judgment there on the 24's part, as we're coming down once again towards the start-finish line.
Ooh, very loose there for the 24 coming off the turn, and the 95 probably knows at this point this is the time that he has to use to try and get past as Linus Broström, unfortunately still dropping more positions here. He's going to be 3 wide across the line, as Eric Blixt is going to have another go here. But there's a caution hard into the inside wall.
Oh, and we got the big one, or the Phoenix version of the big one. I seen cars spinning everywhere as the camera panned back to where the calamity was on the racetrack. Unfortunately, I think I seen the 71 get tied up in that as well. Gonna go on board here. Someone just gets doorbelled. Looks like the 101 ZL1 Camaro. It's punted in the back of the car and sends him around.
Oh, the 487 was already loose, and the 71 was coming down.
It was unintentional. The 71 had to own contact, and obviously what goes up must come down the racetrack, and that was just a classic example of the wrong place at the right time, and unfortunately collects him as a casualty here in this late race caution. Other drivers involved. We're just pinballing.
Was this again off of a bit of a dogleg miscommunication? I think it could have been, if we see from Linus Broström. I think that'll allow us to tell the full story if we can.
I know in general, a lot of the competitors, they're not real fans of that open dog leg, as it creates, like you were hinting at, a lot of problems on the racetrack, especially late in a race like that. You don't have the ability to see really who's, when you're down there that far on the inside. You also have to come back up on the racetrack, but you also have to anticipate there's going to be other cars there. And sometimes it just turns into a situation where, maybe one guy forgot who was there, or someone was lower than they thought they were, and whammo, late race caution right on the racetrack.
I mean, I think allowing people down there, it's a cool little feature, right? When you first think about it, but then the more you see it, the more you start to think, is this really needed? Because this track has enough character as it is anyway, with that with that dog leg in general, if you just take it normally, and then with 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 running pretty differently to each other, I have a feeling like this track has enough character in general. It doesn't really need to have that that open dog leg to be good as a track, really.
And I couldn't agree with you more. And the other side of that, you would think the competitors are a gentleman's agreement. You know, you would think there would be some code or etiquette there among the drivers, if and when to use it, not to use it. But, you know, I understand why you try to minimize the grass on the racetrack, you know, depending on how the car, you know, the direction of the race car, the speed, you know, he hits the grass, that front splitter can dig in, really damage the race car, if not send it rocketing through the air. So I understand the asphalt, but sometimes it doesn't necessarily mean if it's paved in its racetrack that you necessarily have to use it. So I'm kind of siding with what you have to say.
Yeah, you could potentially just get a more abrasive surface down there. Is a few tracks where a highly abrasive surface is used to slow cars down where there's a lot of room, rather than grass, rather than gravel, such as Paul Ricard circuit in France. They use basically stripes of more highly abrasive surface to get cars slowed down. So that some of that stuff could be put down there. But I digress. We're on lap 181. We're going to be coming on to lap 182 on this restart of 188 in the no emission 300 here. You're watching the Svenska eRacingligan on SRM as we're getting ready here for the green flag. Great restart here from Alexander Aroldsson. And that 33 is going to be looking to the inside of the 95. Not going to get alongside though. Angry Wolves behind him. Just seeing here Aroldsson able to hold that lead from Eric Blix, as Jonas Gunnarsson still sitting in third. Daniel Solo and Daniel Holmer swapping with each other for third and fourth at the moment. And Michael Fredriksson probably going to get involved in that one as well. But Eric Blix still having to try and find a way through on this 24, who has been so fast all race.
Yeah, he's just been so fast and so consistent in all race. You know, what do you try and do to get around this guy? Well, typically you can try a different line. You can try dive in the corner a little bit harder towards the apex, getting on the brakes a little bit quicker, or throttling up sooner, but that can have its own negative implications as well on the race car. But he's going to paint a bead on the back of that car, looking for him to make a mistake. 95, he is on the prowl. He's pulling the old number 3 Dale Earnhardt Intimidator move. You get that 24 car looking in the rear view mirror, just put enough pressure on the back bumper of the race car. Let that driver know he's there, getting him looking up, miss the corner, and give him just a crack of daylight in the 95. I promise you will put his car in position to contest for P1. First through third, it looks like we're all single file, but there was a wolf pack about 5th place on back, if I remember correctly. And there is just some hard racing going on right here between, looks like the 78 machine. I'm sorry, the 83 machine down on the inside of the racetrack. The 78, he's going to cut it hard to the outside wall, ducking behind the 84. These guys are trying to get every single position they can right now. The Hornet's Nest is in full effect right now. They are using every piece of real estate on this racetrack. So some excellent racing. Again, big shout out to all you guys in the YouTube chat. If you're new to SRM, make sure you smash that like button, ring that bell. We appreciate you guys being here, supporting all your favorite drivers as they compete out here right at Phoenix on the racetrack.
Yeah, Alexander Aroldsson still holding that lead, as I see lap 188 of 188, but I don't see a white flag, so I'm not entirely sure whether I'm correct. I may be, but either way, Eric Blixt is still trying to find his way through, but nothing able to be done about it.
And as there's nothing able to finish your sentence, you're right, nothing to be able done about it. That was my next question. Where was the white flag? And I'm seeing on my screen here, race is over.
Yep. Where was the white flag? Don't know, but the checkered flag was certainly there. That's the one that matters.
Yeah, I didn't even get a checkered flag on my screen, which makes it even more of an anomaly. But how about it? The 24 machine, he puts that ZL1 Camaro in victory lane, dominating performance, just all phases of the race tonight. He led early. He had the short run speed, he had the long run speed, and he had the winning mentality here at Phoenix tonight. He's your winner.
Yep, he, well, pretty much the entire way through was leading, or at least close to the lead, and you can see the donuts there as we are getting around to interview time, so see if we can pull in our race winner for another interview. We interviewed him for the stage victory, and now he's got the race victory as well to just make up that. I forgot the word now.
Yeah, you decided to bring it back down pit road, out there doing some victory. Light them up, smoking those tires, burning them down out there on the racetrack, and rightfully so. That man earned it here this evening.
Yeah, let's see if I can grab him in quickly. As here he is, the winner of our race number 24, Alexander Arnoldson. Congratulations! That looked you looked fairly comfortable out there.
Thank you very much, Jason. Well, I wouldn't say comfortable. Eric raced me really hard there at the end. Up until the last restart, it was really sweaty there in the car. But then with the restart, put a bit of a gap on the restart, which gave me a bit of a cushion behind, so I could control the race for the last couple of laps.
Yeah, it was great racing from the pair of you, and the decision at the end there to take all 4 tires, whereas I believe most of your competitors took 2. That turned out to be a good one then.
Yeah, I did deliberate taking 2, but in the end I went with 4, which I think was the wrong decision, but it worked out in the end anyway, thankfully.
Yeah, well, your pace has been immense so far, and very much a great way to introduce a fellow broadcaster, Matt, to the league. Speaking of, Matt, do you have any questions for our race winner?
Matt Metler up in here in the booth. What a great dominating performance tonight. Masterful all phases of the race. Anything that kind of threw a curveball at you here tonight? Any of the trends of the race? Just the way the car's set up and the balance of the race car went over the run. I mean, it looked like, you had this place mapped out and knew exactly how to keep up with this racetrack all night tonight.
Yeah, I mean, we've had a really fast number 24 Moby Hörbela Chevy all week. It's been just as fast as Xfinity Internet all week. But yeah, I mean, after some of the pit stops where we ended up back in the field behind cars and old tires, that threw a bit of a curveball trying to navigate through traffic. Where I lost a couple of spots to my competitors, but it worked out in the end, fortunately.
Was dirty air and aero sensitivity of the race car a bigger factor than what you thought it would be? As you found yourself a little further back in traffic at one point during the race?
Well, I cannot speak for myself, but I didn't really feel any aero sensitivity on this track with the setup, to be honest. The setup is this week is a bit sketchy compared to what it was like last time we went there, back in I think May or June. It really wears out the right rear tire, which so you have to be really careful out of the corners.
Yeah, certainly have to be very gradual and easy on the throttle, picking up on corner exit. Anyone you'd like to thank on your team on that 24 machine helps you get everything done, ready to get onto the racetrack week or day in and day out over the course of each race week.
Yeah, of course, I need to thank again Mabi Hobela and Kappa Bar for helping us get to the track every week, and also my teammates at 4C Sport for supporting all week.
Well, there you go, ladies and gentlemen. Your winner tonight. He dominated this race, all three phases, executed just on every level possible. He comes home P1 tonight. Your winner this evening. Great job.
Thank you.
Cool. So next up, naturally, will be our second place finisher in the end here, and notably for something we've seen, one of the one part of the three father-son duos, Eric Blixt. So it was very close there at the end, but unfortunately just about couldn't get past the 24 there.
Yeah, I took 2 tires in the pit stop to try to jump him, but I just couldn't hold on to Ericsson's full tire stop. So yeah, just a little bit short at the end.
Yeah, we were speaking to Alex earlier, and he reckoned that 2 tires was actually the way to go. So, what are your thoughts on that one? You think 4 tires worked better?
He had a little bit of an edge, and I think overall, like preparation, he did better than I did. So I knew I was working like from an underdog position. So well, I'm pretty happy with P2 overall. So.
Yeah, and were there any moments in the race where it was a bit sketchy for you, where maybe coming past lap traffic was interesting, or?
Yeah, there were some restarts where I got bumped down on the dogleg. Dogleg is pretty sketchy as it is, so getting help down there wasn't really a pleasant experience, I have to say.
Yeah, definitely not. But on the oval side of things, in 2 weeks' time, we're going to be heading to Homestead, Miami on the 24th. What are your thoughts going into that race?
I don't think I've raced there with this car. It's not been an overall good track for me, but this car is completely different from the older ones, so we're just gonna have to see what we can get out of it.
And before we let you go and celebrate the second place, is there anyone you'd like to thank?
Yeah, it's the whole team and all the sponsors, Numa Racing, SimLab, Alcantech, Almitech, just all of the guys here just making the broadcast and all our friends.
Cool. Well, congratulations on the second place, and we look forward to seeing you in a couple of weeks' time at Homestead.
Yeah, for sure. Thanks.
Then I will let you lead on this one, Matt, as we have brought in our third place driver, Jonas Gunnarsson.
Yes.
Matt?
Hello?
Hello? Okay, it doesn't appear like Matt is having too much fun with his internet connection. So,
I'll take this one. Jonas, man, congratulations on the third place finish.
Yeah, thank you.
So you're in the 33 machine. You started in third, and you just were able to make it back up there after some rough goings. How important was that last pit stop for you?
Yeah, that was important. That was the only good pit stop I did all night. All my pit stops were really bad. And that's why I went down to like, I don't know, 10, 11 place or something in the beginning, and then had a little accident. But managed to keep the car clean after that and get my way up to P3 again.
Absolutely.
Nothing dramatic.
Right, that's the goal. And we saw like where it kind of happened, where you got all of your spots for these restarts. You started on the inside, you were able to come back and make that inside work and not get past too far behind. How are you feeling about Phoenix with the open dog leg to begin with?
Yeah, I like it. One of my favorite tracks. But yeah, it's hard with the dog leg. Some people don't go down and some people do. So if you're on the outside, you have to be careful.
Absolutely guessing game. But in the end of it, you had 4 or 3 of your teammates surrounding you. Were you talking in the chat saying who was going to take what, or did everybody just cut loose and race?
Nah, we just, I don't know what we said. Just keep it clean and race each other hard.
Absolutely. Well, Jonas, who you got on that machine? Who you want to shout out tonight?
To my team, Alcantech, Almitech, SimLab, and all the guys in the team, of course.
Absolutely. Well, Jonas, man, congratulations one last time, and hopefully we'll talk to you again next week after the GT3 series.
Maybe not after the GT3.
Maybe after
Maybe
the next
when we're back in
NASCAR
the
race
next
at
one.
Homestead.
Yeah,
Headed to Miami.
I hope so.
All right, Jonas, appreciate you.
Yeah.
All right, Jason, send us off.
Yep, well, that just about ends it with we can take a look at the final finishing order. Our top 10 goes Alexander Alton, then Eric Blixt, Jonas Gunnarsson, and Daniel Solomon. Michael Fredriksson rounding out your top 5. Then we've got Daniel Homer, Tony Overnan, Jonas Skoglund, Marcus Stiller, and Linus Broström is your top 10 from that one. Another notable thing about this race, our points leader was Jesper Eriksson, who started out 22 points ahead of Jonas Gunnarsson, but Jesper Eriksson in the end, leaving fairly early on, classified in 32nd. Obviously, Jonas Gunnarsson in 3rd. So that's going to be interesting for the point standings, isn't it?
Absolutely. Well, that's all the time we have. The results are going to be posted wherever you get your race news about the Svenska eRacingligan. And we appreciate you for showing up. And as always, see you next week.